Good evening. I just want to deliver a word that God gave to me on Sunday, May 11th. And I was sleeping and he gave me the words sponsored license. And when he gave me the word, I did not know what it was. I didn't want to get up and write it down, but he just kept saying sponsored license. So I finally got up and I wrote it down. And then the couple hours later, or later on that morning, was when I got up and I started studying what it meant. So it's a real thing. I should have known. But anyway, I'm going to give you the definition of sponsor. What does it mean to sponsor someone? It means you or your company pays in full, whatever pays in full or partially on behalf of an individual or a team or something like that. So say for instance, your little league baseball team, when they begin their season, you probably will ask people like to sponsor a particular team or an individual that is on the team, and they basically just give money so that you can have like the uniforms or something like that. But I found out that sponsored license, many of us already know what a sponsored license is. We just don't know it by the name of sponsored license. So let's get into it. A sponsored license are what is given to companies in the UK. This is what came up first. This is something that is given to companies in the UK when it can't find qualified workers and desire to hire someone from outside the country. So that's how my search started. It started as popping up as something from the UK. And I kept on saying, well, God, why would you give me something that was for people in the UK? And then I Googled comparisons to a sponsored license in the USA. And what came up was, it says, yes, the U.S. offers various forms of sponsorship for individuals in the context of immigration and education. What is an immigrant? So an immigrant is a non-citizen who is present in a country that person was not born in or does not have the legal authority to be there. Okay? Or, yes. I'm sorry. I Googled, I studied, I swear, I'm just nervous. So let's keep going. So it says, yes, the U.S. offers various forms of the sponsorship for individuals in the context of immigration and education. Immigration, entering a country in order to settle there. And there are many different immigration sponsorships that the U.S. offers. The first one would be affidavit of support. That basically means that the person who is entering into the country would be sponsored by their family, by a family member. So say, for instance, I live here, but I have family members in Africa. Let's say that. That is so freaking statistic. But anyway, I have family in Africa, and that family decides that they want to come to the U.S. But instead of them just coming to the U.S., signing up for all the free stuff and government assistance and stuff like that, that we don't want them to get involved with the government. So me as their family, I will probably like give them some kind of loan or purchase them a small house or something like that so that they can come and start a life here. That sounds familiar to what the Mexicans or the Hispanics and the Arabs and things do. So that is kind of smart. I think that's what they do, and that's what makes the Americans mad, which I am an American, but that's probably what makes them mad, because they figured out that they can do that. And it actually builds generational wealth. And that's really what the government doesn't want. The government does not want you to find out how to build generational wealth. Because if you learn how to build generational wealth, then you have broken this cycle that they have placed you in. So once you figure out that it ain't you alone, it's you building, and then you break a little piece and you give to someone else, but you got to make sure you're giving your little piece to people who have wisdom to continue to build that thing up. Okay, we ain't gonna get too deep on race, but that's the smart thing, my people. Okay, that's the smart thing to do. Don't be me. I got my business, I got this, I got that. If you are in a family and you are bringing in 6-figure digits, of cash, financial gain, then don't just splurge and then brag about it. And your family over here ain't eating. You get what I'm saying? You want to make sure that you're not, first of all, that family that ain't eating. You want to make sure that family ain't eating because of something else, not because of the reason why not because of themselves. You get what I'm saying? Some people just don't have wisdom, so they lose the things they have. So you don't want to basically like help that family. You want to help the family that you know that is going to build upon that foundation. You know what I mean? Build a sturdy building on that foundation. Okay, y'all, my words don't come out right, but it's okay. I swear I'm not retarded. Okay, so that's an affidavit of support. That's when the family supports the immigrant, the person that is coming in. Then you have employment-based sponsorship. And this is the one that God was really highlighting because he at first gave me the one about the UK. So employment-based sponsorship. And he says this is aimed to the companies. This word is for people who may own businesses who once had immigrants working for you, and they may have gotten deported. They may have been deported in the past couple of months back home. There is a way for you to get your workers back. They don't want you to know this, but this is a way for you to get your workers back. If there aren't any workers here in the U.S. that you feel are qualified to do the work at your company or in your business, then you can sponsor an employee from another country. So you can do it by a group. You can get a group of people and have it to where they have their own hotel and stuff like that. You can sponsor where they're sleeping. You can provide lunch for them. You can provide the work for a certain amount of months or so on and so forth. But that's something that you can do. It's employment-based sponsorship. And I'll just read you the definition. It says U.S. employers can sponsor someone to come work for them if they can't find available U.S. employees. So you people in the U.S., us people, if you don't want to work, then you ain't going to have the chance to once this information gets to the right companies. Okay? So this is what I meant by we already knew what sponsored license were, because I didn't know scholarships and grants and things like that. I knew that was a form of sponsorship, but I didn't know that it was considered sponsorship license. You know what I mean? So this is the educational based sponsorships. The educational based sponsorships would first start off with scholarships. Scholarships, everyone knows that scholarships provide financial supports to students who are trying to go to school, and so on and so forth. So you may have an athletic scholarship. You may have just a educational, like a regular scholarship. I think some kids get an academic scholarship when they have made a certain test score on the ACT, SAT, and just graduating valedictorian and stuff like that. So you get scholarships in ways like that. It says government programs, which the definition would be various federal programs offer educational benefits. And an example of that would be like the Pell Grant, loans, and scholarships. It says state and local programs. So there are state-based scholarships that will fall underneath the educational-based sponsorships. And the state-based scholarships, let's take the Fast Track. I think Fast Track is a grant that is a state-based grant here in Missouri. There are other grants for different things in different states. I think the Tennessee has like the Tennessee Lottery, where they take the lottery winnings or the lottery intake money and they use it for scholarships and grants for the graduating students and so on and so forth of high school. And then you have humanitarian sponsorships. Well, what does the word humanitarian means? It says concern with or seeking to promote human welfare, meaning you have a compassion to increase or to better the state of human welfare. So you're out here trying to feed people. You're out here trying to give people wisdom and knowledge, get people off of the streets. You're out here trying to help the homeless. You're out here planting gardens, creating parks, so you can be sponsored in humanitarian ways. Okay, so this one says humanitarian parole, and it is a blend of the workforce sponsorship and educational, I think. Let me read it. It says the U.S. government may grant temporary entry to individuals facing urgent humanitarian concerns. Okay, say for instance, hurricanes or something happen over in Haiti or something like that, to the point where everything was ruined. So we as the U.S. government could sponsor them to come here. Kind of like when Katrina hit, there were places who bought out like hotels and things so that people can vacate Louisiana to come where we were, and so on and so forth. I know a lot of people came to Tennessee. We had a lot of new kids when Katrina came. I think that was like 2005 or something like that. But when Katrina hit, there were a lot of people who relocated, and I think there were a lot of folks who tried to help them out in that way, and that was a sponsorship as well. Okay, and it says the Welcome Corps. This program allows U.S. citizens to sponsor refugees, providing them financial and other help. Okay, so that may be about the same as the other one. I may be explaining it totally wrong. I'm just reading what I got off the internet, because again, at first I did not know what sponsorship license were, but I'm just reading what I got and how I understand it. Okay, so a refugee is someone who flees to seek refuge, and if you read your Bible, you have saw the word refuge and things like that in many different places. So refuge is protection from danger or pursuit. Okay, that's what God says. God is my refuge, a very present help. Okay, so that's what that means. Like someone just is fleeing from a country because of danger or because of different things that may be going on in their country. They can flee and we can sponsor them. I don't really know why God wanted this delivered, but I want to be obedient, and I was going to deliver it Sunday, but God told me to wait, and today is the day. So again, if y'all would like to, y'all just Google sponsored license. I know everybody is not going to watch this video to the end, because this is not a grabbing word that you want, but this is for somebody, and whoever it's for, I pray that I explained it to the best of my ability so that you can understand it. But the understanding would not come from me. The understanding will come from God. May you be blessed. And I'm just going to go back over it. Sponsorship license. You have immigration, different immigration sponsorships, affidavit of support, family support, the family that's coming in, employment-based sponsorship. The employer sponsors the person that's coming in. You have scholarships. We know what scholarships are. Government programs, which are like Pell Grants, loans, and regular scholarships. You have state and local programs, which are just the same, grants and scholarships, but they are state-based. We have humanitarian sponsorships, and you have the humanitarian parole sponsorship, and you have the Welcome Corps sponsorship. And yes, that's all. Y'all have a nice day.